Hello friends and welcome back to Picture Astrology. In this quick snap video, we will learn about placement of Jupiter in the sign of Capricorn for a Gemini Ascendant horoscope. So when Gemini, which is the third sign of the zodiac, rises in a horoscope, then Capricorn falls in the 8th house. So this video is also about Jupiter in 8th house for a Gemini rising chart. So when Gemini, which is the sign ruled by Mercury, rises in a horoscope, then Jupiter becomes the lord of 7th and 10th house, and that is because the two signs ruled by Jupiter, Sagittarius and Pisces, fall in these two houses respectively. So Jupiter will have a direct impact on the 7th house and 10th house related matters of your life. Now Jupiter is placed in the 8th house, so obviously it will impact the 8th house affairs. And in Vedic astrology, Jupiter is given many special aspects. So Jupiter aspects 5th house from itself, which will be the 12th house. Jupiter aspects 7th from itself, which will be the 2nd house. And Jupiter also aspects the 9th from itself, which will be the 4th house. So you see, this one placement of Jupiter impacts half of your horoscope directly. And if we really go into details, a lot of important happenings or reasons for those happenings can be understood with just one placement of Jupiter. Now in this quick snap video, we will concentrate mostly upon some of the very practical aspect of Jupiter which you can feel in your life, and at the same time they will be related to some of the most significant areas of life like your family, your spouse, and especially your work life. So first of all, Jupiter is placed in the 8th house, and 8th house among other things is the house of your life energy, and it also shows your life expectancy in many ways. So a benefic planet like Jupiter here generally is associated with a very long life. A person with this placement enjoys good long physical life. However, there are a couple of things they should be very careful about. First of all, the habit of overeating. See, Jupiter has an aspect on the 2nd house, and that aspect is from the 8th house, which is one of the Trik Bhavas. It is not one of the most auspicious of the houses. So though it gives a long life, any affliction on Jupiter can cause Jupiter related ailment, which are first of all fat. Fat in the body can grow very fast, especially because you have an habit of overeating. And not just overeating, these people generally really have a very strong sweet tooth. They love to eat sweets of different kinds. And if Mercury is not well placed, it's going to be very difficult to control that habit. And because of that, fat in the body, overweight, and all ailments related to that are possible. Many times it is seen that Jupiter causes swelling in the body in many ways. Swelling and fat are two different things, especially around the facial area, because Jupiter has a direct aspect here on the 2nd house, which shows your face. So if any of this kind of things, especially if swelling occurs, then it is very advisable, according to Ayurveda or naturopathy, that person consume some or the other form of turmeric in his daily food. Turmeric either as part of the food substance, or maybe small turmeric powder before you sleep at night, very small amount, just a pinch of it, can be very helpful if you face swelling or itching because of this Jupiter's placement. Now one very important aspect of this Jupiter, which is related to your work life, which is the 10th house, and at the same time your 2nd house, because 2nd house among other things is the house of your speech. And the ascendant sign of Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury, is an ascendant which anyways loves to communicate. Mercury or Gemini rising signs, they have a weakness of keep on talking most of the time. Sometimes it is just gossiping. An aspect of Jupiter on the 2nd house, which shows how you speak, what is your speech, how is your voice quality, gives a personality who could be compulsive talker. Okay, I'm kind of little bit exaggerating it, but what happens is, since Jupiter is also lord of your 10th house, which is the house of your work, it is seen that many times people can get into trouble in their workspace because of undue gossiping. So, talking to many people, just saying anything to anybody can backfire on people with this kind of placement, and they could easily suffer from office grapevine and office politics because of this. And it is very likely to happen if this Jupiter is in affliction of any kind. So it is highly advisable to control on your gossiping tendency if you have this kind of Jupiter, because this not only wastes your time, but since it is the lord of 10th house, can give you trouble at your work life as well. And now let's talk about the 10th house again, because the lord of 10th is in the 8th house, and 8th house, as you know, is the place of suspense, mysticism. It is a house which is very difficult to fathom, and at the same time this is the house which gives quick changes in life. So a lot about your work life depends on lord of this 8th house, which is Saturn, because Jupiter is in the sign of Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. But in general, what this shows is, it can give a tendency to the person to keep on changing their job very frequently if obviously Saturn is not well placed, and if they are not satisfied with the kind of monetary benefit they are getting. They can be job hoppers. Also, one important thing is, this placement shows a person who likes to be a professional, somebody who wants to run a business on its own whims and fancies rather than working for somebody else. It can give its course of trouble to the person, but if planets like Mercury is well placed and strong, then they could easily have good knowledge about law, or they could even have good knowledge about medicines, because 8th house is the house of, among other things, diseases and accidents. So if Mars, Mercury and this Jupiter are well placed, they are well placed from each other, like Mars in the 12th house, or rather Mars in the 10th house and Mercury in 4th, then the person can easily be somebody who knows medical science or medicinal science very well. Good anesthesiologists are also known to have this placement, because again, anesthesia and the kind of unconsciousness that anesthesia induces all comes under the domain of 8th house. And at the same time, since Jupiter is the lord of 7th house of spouse, it is many times seen that these people undergo a professional change for good soon after the marriage. And not just professional change, many times after marriage, provided Mercury is well placed from this Jupiter, opens up new doors of professional success for these people. And suppose Saturn is also well placed. Now Saturn here is the lord of 8th house, which shows your spouse's family. So if Saturn is well placed, then the family of spouse can help these guys in many ways to expand their professional life. And since Jupiter again has an aspect on the 2nd house, these people, they do tend to take good care of their family, from both monetary point of view, from financial point of view. They work hard to provide for their family, and at the same time from emotional point of view. However, what happens sometimes is, because Jupiter is in this 8th house and it has an aspect on the 2nd house, and these people just love to talk, they can show a strange kind of pride in their voice when they are talking to others, and many people may not like it, especially when they talk about their family. They have a tendency to kind of show off things at times, that we have this, we have that, And when it comes to their kids also, when these folks get kids, they become really possessive about them. And they always talk about their own kids with a lot of pride with anybody they meet. So at some level it is good, but they can overdo it, and which can cause many people not to like them or feel them that they are sort of, have a lot of proud or pride in them, which could border up to, vanity. So that is one very important thing which people with this placement needs to really take care of. Now, as we discussed in the beginning, there are umpteen number of things which we can learn about this placement of Jupiter. But we'll talk about this in detail in some other video or in a detailed video series. For now, I'm going to stop here, and I thank you for being with me so far. I really hope you liked this video, and please do like and subscribe to my channel to continue to receive updates like this. Thank you again for watching so far, and hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.